Welcome back to Chronicles, Crown of Thorns, and we are getting closer to the actual Crown of Thorns scene, aren't we? So we're in the end of chapter 14, so we're going to pick it up at verse 66 and read to the end of the chapter. While Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came by. When she saw Peter warming himself, she looked closely at him. "You also were with that Nazarene, Jesus," she said. But he denied it. "I don't know or understand what you're talking about," he said, and went out into the entrance. When the servant girl saw him there, she said again to those standing round them, "This fellow is one of them." Again, he denied it. After a little while, those standing near said to Peter, "Surely you are one of them, for you are a Galilean." He began to call down curses, and he swore to them, "I don't know this man you're talking about." Immediately the cock crowed the second time. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken to him. "Before the cock crows twice, you will disown me 3 times." And he broke down and wept.
Yeah, it's an emotional scene, isn't it? And we're here because Jesus has been arrested and everyone's fled from Jesus except Peter, to be fair to him. Although he doesn't really know exactly what to do, because we were just saying before we started recording this that he was the one who drew the sword when Jesus was arrested. He was ready to chop someone's ear off and have a go and protect Jesus to his death. He was ready for that. But Jesus has told him, "No, those who live by the sword die by the sword. That's not how we do things." And so he's just this sort of mixed bag of emotions, because he desperately wants to be with Jesus, so he follows him, though everyone else has gone. But he has absolutely no idea what to do.
And the gap between his emotions and his mouth is very, very short, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
As we've found out in other occasions. He is this big tough guy on the outside, and when he's faced with an opponent of an equal size, with a Roman guard, but when he crumbles into a quivering wreck when he's faced with a girl.
Yeah, that's what.
The girl sort of she doesn't get his full blown anger, because she's the one that sort of appears in the denial before the third time.
Yes.
So he swears at the other bloke. He swears at all the others around him. But the girl is sort of the one that kicks the stool leg. You know. And he can't just
couple times, yell at her and tell her to shut up, because Jesus says that's not how we do it.
No, but you know, I just wonder, like, I mean, kids can be very, very cruel, you know. And I just want, I mean, I know she's not necessarily a kid; she's a servant girl, but she's a servant of the high priest. She must have been aware of what was going on,
right?
You know, servants hear a lot of stuff, don't they?
Yes.
So she's going by and she sees him, and she sort of sees her chance. To have a go at one of his followers, you know, and so
I guess that's what she's doing by identifying him with Jesus. She's also saying you're equally guilty. You should be on trial too. And I guess that's why Peter is suddenly. I think he's afraid, isn't he? Because he doesn't know what to do.
Well, I mean, I think we would be as well. Maybe afraid, confused, just not understand what is going on.
This is us in the office, isn't it? On a Monday morning, you know, in the reception area when someone's making a coffee, and they say, "You all right? Good weekend?" And we're like, "Oh, I thought I saw you outside that church on Sunday. Do you go to church?" Yeah, you know. And I used to be like this in school. Like I used to. I mean, I was. Because when you're a kid and no one else does what your family does, it's embarrassing. And so I think all of us at some point in our lives have been Peter here, haven't we?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, there's always that moment, isn't it? Where and I normally have it when I'm past it. I'm like, oh, why didn't I say that? You know, I wasn't ready. Why wasn't I ready? You know? But that's the nature of being put on the spot, isn't it? You don't expect it. You know, but he, I guess, you know, the thing that's closest to him is the denial. I don't know or understand what you're talking about. You know, and then he wants to get out of there. But she's like a dog with a bone, you know.
Yeah.
She sees him at the entrance and says to him again.
His accent gives him away.
Yeah, exactly.
You're a Galilean.
You're a Galilean. Yeah,
you must be with him. Why else would you be down here?
Yeah.
I think so. Jesus has prophesied this, which is ironic because the scene before this, Jesus was getting beaten by guards.
Yeah.
He was blindfolded, and they were saying, "Prophesy, prophesy."
Yeah.
Well, here, literally, just outside of the courtroom where that's happening is a prophecy coming true.
Yeah.
Because Jesus has told him in the last chapter, you will all fall away. I will strike the shepherd and the sheep will be scattered. And Peter said, even if all fall away, I will not. So, that was back then before, that's when he was still like macho Peter with the sword on his side and all of this stuff. Yeah. And so I think when Peter remembers these words, that's, the cock crows, that was Jesus' prophecy. Yeah. And he must just go, what have I done?
Yeah.
Jesus was right. How could I have done this to the one that I love and I'm so passionate about? But he also must have remembered what Jesus had said with that prophecy, because he says, you will all fall away, firstly, but after I have risen, I will go ahead of you into Galilee, which is this, you're going to fall away. And I think in another gospel, Jesus says specifically to Peter, Satan has asked to sift you, but I have prayed for you.
Yeah.
And what an amazing sort of mixture of emotions again going on in Peter. I've let the master down, and yet he promised still that he would go ahead of me into Galilee.
Yeah.
What an amazing, and then he just breaks down and weeps.
And what an encouragement for us as well as disciples, knowing some of the background of this. Mark is probably writing in Rome, possibly to the Roman church, and knowing that they're going to go through persecution. Think about Nero and others. And he's one of the chief disciples, and he's fallen. He's disowned Jesus.
Yes.
And yet there's hope for him. You know, and we'll see that in the next few chapters as well.
And we don't.
What an amazing thing for us as Christians today and then. When we go through. When we go through persecution, it's going to be something that is going to be a challenge to us. What we're going to do, but there is, depending on we might be ready, and we should be ready to stand strong, to have that answer. But even when we don't,
there's grace.
If we're broken,
this is the rock that the church is going to be built on, and there's grace in the foundations of the church.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's grace, in Jesus's words. He's the one. His message, is what the church is going to be built on, and he's the one who, there's a place in Timothy, isn't there, where we're reminded that Jesus cannot disown himself, and so he will forgive and restore. So
praise God for that.